He's been really fast right out of the gate, and all the other guys have been playing catch up. So we'll see once the race starts if Travis Wyman, Mesa, Corey Alexander, Michael Gilbert, if any of those guys can run with him.
As we get ready to take off for their sighting lap here in just a moment, let's send it down to our partner in crime down on pit lane. It's Miss Jamie Howe.
Hello. So it's a beautiful time to start a race. These clouds have really thickened back up, so we've got nice, comfortable temperatures for everybody that's here on the circuit, all of the riders that are about to get going. I want to go back to Cam Peterson real quick. This morning in the practice session that we had for Stock 1000, he was one of the riders that did not go out with the rest of their class because they went out with Superbikes. They're also doing that Superbike class today for that race. And the problem for the rest of the Stock 1000 competitors is that Cam was able to pick up even more pace. They raised the ride height of that bike. He's even happier on it. That's exactly the same way that they're going to race that bike today. So he's even more comfortable than he was when we saw him qualify.
Yeah, when you see that confidence out of Cam Peterson and coming in and relaxing and looking and watching what everybody else does and knowing that Wyman, Mesa, Alexander, they got some work to do. You're the series points leader, and there's a reason because you've been out in front more times than Corey Alexander. As we get ready to take off, let's take a look at the championship points battle. It's still a 17-point margin. That can change in a blink of an eye.
Yeah, it can change really quick, especially this weekend with a lot of guys being quick. Corey's going to need to start winning races, though, to start getting that points. The gap between first and second is 5 points, and Corey doesn't want to dig himself too big of a hole because there's not a lot of races left.
Bit of a surprise, though, when you see Corey Alexander having to start from that second row?
A little bit. It's a little bit better for him this weekend, this practice this morning. He was a little bit quicker. So it is surprising because he's been on the podium all weekend and he's a title contender, but he hasn't been here in almost 5 years, and he's also never rode a 1000 here before. So it's a little bit more for him to get used to.
Yeah, there's only been 1 week here that Corey Alexander has not finished on that podium. As we take a look at our starting grid for the Stock 1000s, Mesa going to be on the inside. Hey, give Mesa a good start, good launch on that inside. You dictate the pace, just push everybody wide, and you go from third to first.
I think somebody's going to have to get the whole shot over Cam Peterson. If not, if he gets in the lead, he's going to do what he's did the last couple races, just kind of get in the lead and check out.
Max Girardo on row 3 on the inside. And Chris Crossland, Joe Giannato. Good results here recently as well in the middle of row 3. Hunter Dunham on there on the outside. Good to see him back in there in the mix, looking for another top 10. Trying to get in that top 5 this weekend. Jeff Pert looked quick at times earlier in the second qualifier. Danilo Lewis, we've seen him fast. Past couple of rounds, a Brazilian, and you talk about him being new to Moto America, new to this course, where many of these guys have raced on this track before. That's probably not the case for Danilo Lewis.
Every track he's going to this year has been brand new for him, so it takes he has to learn the track, and I think that's one reason why he was so fast at the Ridge, because nobody else had been there before, and kind of made it an even playing field.
Cam Peterson, the guy to beat. He's coming off back-to-back victories, and there's one guy also that we haven't talked about is Michael Gilbert, the 55. He's going to start, middle of that second row. Here's a guy, coming off of back-to-back podium finishes, a second and a third place the last couple of rounds between the Ridge as well as New Jersey.